Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to our channel. It's T and S here. And guess what? Today we're going to start our first story time. And I, T, am going to tell the story. So, the first story we're going to do today is going to be about my first time. So I'm going to start off by giving you guys a little bit of a back history or backstory of how we met first. So we're going to call him D. And me and D met in high school. We had a class together. And I remember seeing him earlier that year, I believe. And I see him, he had just came from having a fight in a classroom. And he came out the class and I was like, oh my God, he is so fine. And I don't know. It was just something about him. He was just so fine. So then I think that next year, because I want to say that was my sophomore year, that next year we had a class together. So when he came in, I was like kind of excited and thrilled about it because, yay, he's so fine. So, yeah, I had just started cheerleading that year. This was my junior year. So yeah, I just started cheerleading. We were in a history class. I can't remember what kind of class. So we exchanged numbers sometime in there. We became friends and we exchanged numbers. And one day he asked me to be his girlfriend. So of course, yes, I said yes because I really liked him. So then we conversed for a while, and of course the conversation led to other type of conversations, if you know what I mean. So we would just talk about stuff, and I remember him kept telling me if I was a B word, he would not do anything with me because he just didn't want the hassle of it, because B words can usually be kind of clingy. So he just kept, that was his reasoning. He just did not want to do anything with a B word. So of course I lied. I lied and told him that I wasn't one. I told him that I have already been out here in these streets, and he believed what I said. So that's a little back history. So I think we hung out sometimes throughout the summer. So leading up to our first time. So the plot and the plan, I lived with my grandmother, and she was very, very strict. Very strict. You couldn't have guys in the house. You couldn't go hang out with them. You couldn't do anything, basically. So one day I decided, well, he asked to come over, and I said, I can't even remember what I said, but of course I had to say yes, I'm sure, because then that's how I led up to my first time. So I had to figure out a way for him to get in my house, and he said he had snuck in plenty of girls' houses before. So I was like, okay, cool, then you're a pro at this. So now I got to figure out how to get you in my house because there's gates all over the house on our windows. So I had to figure that out. So I found out how to open the gates. You just press this little button. And then the next problem that came about was the window. The screen on the window would not lift up because they hadn't been open in years. So I had to figure out how to lift the screen, and little did I know the screen would never open. So I eventually took a knife and cut a hole in the wall, or cut a hole in the screen, and made just a little hole so he could be able to come through it. I think the window was loud. So when I lifted it up, I think I sprayed WD-40 on it so it could be easily lifted. And that was the plan. So also in the plan, my sister's job was to basically, if she heard anything, to make noises. Because my door was closed, her door would be closed, my grandmother's door would be open, and she would walk the hallway sometimes, but when she sleeps, she sleeps. So yeah, that was her job, was to be a lookout. So that was the plan. He was gonna come through the window. He would call me first, come to the window, and that was it. So, and mind you, there's bushes in front of the window outside of my window. So it was a little bit of a task. So his job was to call me when he was outside, so I can push the gate open and help him up if needed. So he called and he was outside my window, and yeah, it was the scariest thing because my grandmother's like room was right next door to mine. So it was like nerve-wracking because our air conditioner was loud. So I wanted to wait till it came on to do anything. So he came, then he climbed through the window. Actually, he actually was a pro. Really was. He jumped up, found some kind of way, jumped up perfectly into my window, and he was in. So the next step, we ended up just watching TV. We were just laying there watching TV, just hanging and chilling. And then things led to other things. So we eventually did the do. Now, the only thing I remember from, because it was so long ago, the only thing I remember from it is laying there and watching South Park. South Park was on TV that day because I watch South Park every night. And it was on, and I was like laying there, like, wow, this is it. Like, this is what I've been waiting all these years for to do. I just couldn't believe it. So I'm watching TV and I'm just like waiting for it to be over. And I was like, okay, like I could have waited a longer amount of time before I even did this. It was a waste of time, basically, to me. So that was how my first time went. I think he ended up spending the night, if I'm not mistaken, or he stayed for a little bit. And then left. I'm not sure how it went. I think he probably spent the night, but he left before, of course, the next morning before anybody got up in my household. But yeah, that is how my first time went. It was definitely something I could have waited for. I wish I did wait a little longer. But that's how that story went. So, needless to say, that's how I'm going to end that story with my first time. Guys, definitely please wait until you really are in love with someone, and wait a long time before you even decide to do these things, because real life was watching South Park the entire time. Like, that's a waste of time. So anyways, needless to say, that was how my first time went. If you guys stay tuned to our channel and subscribe, then you will hear how the first day we became boyfriend and girlfriend, what happened the first day we became boyfriend and girlfriend. So this is all for this story time today. And again, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.